Let's do this.
Welcome. Are we recording?
We're recording.
Hi. This is Merc talking out of a toilet paper tube.
That's not toilet paper. That's a big toilet paper tube. Big that was toilet paper.
Paper towel
shit I'm
tube.
gonna take later.
This is for Spanky. I'm going to introduce everyone through a paper towel tube today. Today with us we have Zorn.
I can talk in a bottle.
He's tried to fuck every single girl on My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, the show. How's that going for you?
I'm still on number one.
He's still on number one. We also have SLB, who may hate Nickelback more than me.
Never again.
But you want to be a rock star.
Someday.
But you really like the white stains on your breasts. Your breasts.
My breasts.
Your breasts.
On the ground.
And we have Ginger, whose T-Rex actually won a dog show this week because he ate every other animal there.
He plays to win. I taught him well.
Hopefully that recorded. I'm going to stop that now.
Oh, it went through. We got it.
Today we're drinking and apparently spilling Namaste Dogfish beer.
Alcohol abuse.
Alcohol abuse.
Mm.
I take responsibility for that.
Party foul.
If there's a computer, I will find a way to spill a beer on it. We've learned that the hard way today.
We don't need those, right?
It's hardcore mode for me.
Next
Moving-
week we'll just get a tape recorder and let's do it the old-fashioned way.
If you leave beer near me, I will find a way to spill it. We've learned this.
On your laptop. Even though it might be on the third floor of your house and you're in the basement, it's going to spill on the laptop.
If
Or
you-
on your magic cards.
If you leave your beer anywhere near me, I will find a way to spill it. That is a warning. My beer is okay. Other people's beer is not.
But didn't you just spill your beer?
No, that was the one I gave to Ben.
Oh.
It was my beer that I gave to Ben.
Fair enough.
But it was technically my beer, yes. But I wasn't drinking it.
It was beer nonetheless.
Speaking of hardcore mode, I do hardcore beer spilling. Herbie does hardcore ingressing.
So, this
I
week...
do hardcore porn.
This week I did not do hardcore porn, but what I did do was we were out in Providence, and I decided that it was a fantastic idea to run screaming and cackling maniacally, dropping level 8 XMPs all the way down the street. Many people just kind of shook their heads and, nodded because, people who know me know that I run around and do crazy shit all the time. But I went through 400 XMPs, killed most of Providence, and pissed off one poor bastard.
So you carpet bomb Providence.
Yes, I carpet bound Providence while giggling gleefully.
Alright.
My best impression of the Joker. I was trying to lure out a Harley Quinn.
Did you go to East Providence?
No, I did not go to EP.
You probably would have found one.
No, you would not have found a Harley Quinn. You would have found like a Harley Shanique or a Harley Lynn.
You would have found a shank.
Shank.
Because the Mexican guy is not happy you're taking his portal.
Well,
And he's going to get physical about
And he's
it.
going to get out of his El Camino, and his 20 friends are going to get out of his El Camino to beat the shit out of you.
well, that
There's
reminds
40
me of
friends out the
something.
Pinto. They're right behind them.
That reminds me of something that happened to me in Providence, actually. So, mean streets of Providence, as everyone knows. I also spent the most of the night helping
Don't spill
helping bounce at hell, even though I did not actually work there. Everybody came up. I've seen many things that are horrible. But at the end of the day, I was all by myself in a trench coat in the middle of a, Providence Street at 3 a.m., and a bunch of people came out from a back alley. I quickly acted like I had a shotgun in my trench coat, and their stories completely changed from, hey, what's up?
it. So Herbie also has a hardcore gangster episode of the week right now.
He
Of
went
his
from pedophile and
times.
trench coat to Johnny Cash. Alright.
5 steps to Johnny Cash.
Also, for the record, since we spilled most of it, we do like the beer for what we've drank of it.
Well, I actually drank all of my half.
I actually drank both of mine. It's SLB's that I decided to spill on his
No,
laptop.
I was almost done it anyways. It wasn't even a lot. But it was actually, so we can talk about the beer quickly. Not really hoppy, barely hoppy. It's Dogfish Head Namaste. It has a white beer with orange slices of lemongrass, coriander, and peppercorns. And you can really taste the lemongrass and the orange slices.
It's very smooth, like your sister's landing strip.
Yes, just like my sister's, what he said.
Landing strip.
Landing
Yes.
strip.
You know what that is, right?
No.
I've never heard it done that way before, but all right.
I've done it that way before. Anyway, moving on.
When you're going down, you made airplane.
Yes. Yes, dating me is like a 3-ring circus.
I'm gonna do that next time, and I'm probably not gonna get any.
No, I think she'll just be like, no, stop it.
Here comes the big spoon.
I have a friend who that works for anyway. Moving on.
No, keep going.
No, I wouldn't even get to the airplane and be like, no, don't think about it. What? Like, for example...
If you have a tiny dick, it's a prop job, so you have a prop job.
No, I basically said that the next... If I ever meet a girl who I'm not really interested in, like, dating...
You're going to make
someone
airplane
that jump-
noises?
No, what I'm going to do is, after I finish... As soon as I finish...
You're going to do the airplane wings to fly
No.
around the room and go, bye!
No, as soon as
I have a
finish-
flight to catch.
As soon as I'm finished, I'm going to do my Elmo impression and go... That tickers!
Personally, my favorite was I was finishing and I yelled "billion" at the top of my lungs. My friend Kazan actually bet me to do that. It worked.
500 women.
I've said a lot weirder shit than you, but we're not going into that because that's a topic for another day.
Did you
Fair
meow?
That was with one girl, but yes,
He had
that
to
happened.
think about it. He had to think about.
I don't
meow.
want to talk about it. I'm not talking about the weird shit I've done in my past.
I've had girls meow.
All Merc does is attract the meow chicks.
Yeah, I think of the last 10 girls I've had sex with, 9 of them have meowed at me quite a bit.
Damn, lucky man. Go, props you.
Oh, I'm getting props for pretending most of my exes act like cats.
Remember,
Awesome.
crazy. Love the crazy.
I forgot about that.
How?
Can we get a shirt that has Zorn's face on it and goes "Love the Crazy"?
That's like t-shirt design number 4. We up to 4 now?
Yes, we're up to 4 now.
Speaking of crazy, there's this thing called Baltimore.
Yes, Baltimore.
Yeah, we want to touch up on that.
Somewhere where me and SLB have spent a fair amount of time.
Yeah, we went to the Dogfish and Disco reunion 3 years ago. And let's jump ahead. Past couple weeks since that, what the heck's his name? That kid got killed from cops.
Kid in Ferguson?
Kid Ferguson? No, Ferguson County was...
I would say the kid in Ferguson.
No, we're talking about different...
Oh, the kid with the criminal background?
Yeah.
We'll call him suspect number 2.
We're going to hell, boys and girls. Hell.
Oh, we've been in hell. What are you talking about?
One-way ticket. We got VIP, first class.
Personally, I have been following this whole Baltimore thing. And a lot of people are trying to say, this is the way that we protest. But unfortunately, I have to disagree. Because, breaking down stores and, half killing people is not my way of, protesting. Protesting is getting signs and being like, you're all assholes.
That's what protesting normally is. It's like, hey, we have a problem and we need to fix it. We're going to fight for a right to fix it. Now, hey, let me take this 29-inch TV because we have a problem.
Yeah. Also, I love that the mayor of Baltimore decided that she was going to say, yeah, let them have that side of the city. That actually happened.
I know she's made a statement. Is that what she said? Pretty much?
Yeah, pretty much. She's like, that side of the city, we're just going to leave them to have it and blow off some steam.
I read some article that the gangs of Baltimore are doing a better job keeping order than the cops are. I didn't read the article. I only saw the header.
Because unlike the cops, people have to respect the gangs.
Because you're dead if you don't.
I never really felt safe in Baltimore.
No, when we went to the Dog Fashion Disco show, first night was the Acoustic El Creepo show. We stayed on at the Radisson on Baltimore Ave, which is right where the Inner Harbor is. It's pretty much the tourist attraction. It has the aquarium. It's gorgeous. When I went for a walk, I walked not even a block in, and it just buildings desecrated and graffitied, and it was sketchy as fuck. The only way it could be more sketchy is if I was in Detroit. Or Hartford, for that matter.
Hartford's
The
sketchy.
Polka Dot show like 2 weeks later. A week later, actually.
I think that's the only venue I go to where there's always a hooker across the street.
Yeah. And there's actually gunshots you can hear.
And we've heard gunshots multiple times.
Don't worry, if the hooker has AIDS, as long as she gives you a blowjob, it's fine.
Especially if it's $5.
He's drawing blood in her mouth.
Yep.
Yes, I remember when I was young, I actually got sung to sleep by bullets, and there was a hooker on the corner down at the end of the street.
Were you in Baltimore?
No, I was in Providence.
I'll let you know, though, that there are more interesting fights going on all week in Baltimore than there was at that Mayweather-Pacquiao fight.
That was
Yep.
a fucking joke.
Hugfest 2015, go!
I love the Barney meme. Hey Mayweather, if you wanted to hug so much, you should have fought me. There was the Tyson Punch-Out game.
Yeah.
Every round you hug him, Mario comes out, no hugging!
I like the prom one, where it's like, Pacquiao, man, just like handing out prom. It's like all the kids around him still dancing. It's like, ooh.
So let's go. Quick reiteration of that fight. Merc was actually the only one to watch that because we were all currently occupied.
I went
They want to spend
to
$100 to watch a fight.
I went to Crown Plaza, which is a hotel, and they had a conference room, whatever they had dedicated to it. For $30, I got a buffet, which was worth it alone. The chicken was delicious. Everything else was pretty good. And they put us in this dark little room with a huge big screen, a couple smaller TVs, and they had the fight on. I saw 2 of the pre-fights, and they were okay. And they come out, and Pacquiao basically leads the fight, does most of the work, but because Mayweather got a couple lighter jabs in, there was a few more of them, he won the fight. And it was just stupid. It was boring. I don't need to watch grown men hug each other.
Just think, Mayweather got paid $180 million for that.
They said it was roughly $135,000 a second per fight
It's funny because
for each fighter.
it was funny because I was reading. Oh, what was I? Actually, I was watching his interview that night, and people are, people on Snapchat and Facebook who are supporting me. I don't think I personally know a single person who wanted Mayweather to win, but the people who did, he's actually a really nice guy, this and that. He was talking in the interview. They came up to me and they wanted to give me $50 million, but that wasn't going to be enough. So we finally got Mayweather Productions and so got together and made sure that things happened, and he got $180 million for that fucking fight.
Mayweather's a cocky piece of shit who can't read. Pacquiao, he's not in his prime. He's like senator in.
Yes, he's actually
something.
in the House of Representatives in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's not where he's from, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about that. That's like, can you imagine if that's how our politicians settle with shit? It's like, okay, Harry Reid, John McCain, Saturday night, Las Vegas. We're gonna settle immigration right now.
Politics just got a hell of a lot more interesting.
I mean, everybody's going to that fight.
Oh, yeah.
I probably pay attention to politics at that point.
It's one of those things. But I don't know. I was disappointing. It was a lot of money to waste. I mean, the food was good, but there really wasn't nothing going on.
Well, at least you didn't pay for the pay-per-view. You didn't pay $100.
Yeah.
I
Could have
mean,
been worse.
the only reason we're mentioning in this is because I don't think in the soon-to-be 24 years of my life, I've ever seen a fight so promoted and so widely talked about.
I remember the night of the Tyson fight with Holyfield and he bit his ear off or whatever. I remember that because it was like a wedding. I just happen to remember it for some reason.
When was that?
I was young.
Was that like probably mid-90s, early 90s?
Yeah, I was young at the time.
Maybe there was a bigger fight, but from my recollection, because we mentioned the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight in a previous episode with the ranch, the Bunny Ranch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we ever really... I've never even thought of boxing. I see, people are boxing. Wow, I can go down the street and watch it in Providence.
I mean, I never
Free.
take it seriously. I never will. I just can tell that Mayweather seems like a dickhead and Pacquiao seems like an okay guy. And that's where my line was drawn. I want to see the guy that doesn't seem like a douchebag win the fight.
And to be honest, I that's why I prefer to watch wrestling over boxing. At least wrestling, it's fake. And this,
It's going to be drawn out because they have to draw it out. They have to keep you, entertained.
yeah, and that's what it is. They're entertainers, and they're like, okay, how are we going to keep these people entertained? It's not, okay, we're going to have Big Show and Rey Mysterio in the ring together. In reality, I think Big Show would just kick the shit out of fucking Rey.
Oh, he will. They've been in the ring multiple times, believe it or not.
Yeah, but if it wasn't scripted,
Oh,
if it
Big
was
Show
like-
just sit on him and it's over. You have a 7-foot man on top of, a 5'2". Right out there, the weight class is already mismatched. Rey Mysterio weighs less than I do. He's 180.
Yeah.
He's 180, 200. I'm 215. Big Show's pushing 400. You really think, those two belong in the same fighting class?
Mm-mm.
No, but they do it for entertainment. It's enjoyable. I watched WrestleMania 31?
Jesus.
And, yeah, I know, it was 1985 when WrestleMania 1 happened.
The last WrestleMania I watched was 10.
Dude, that was 94. I was 3 years old, and that was, who was it? I think Shawn Michaels and Bret the Hitman Hart headlined.
Is that the one
And
where
you
they
remembered even.
Is that the one where Shawn Michaels put Bret the Hitman Hart in the Heart Lock?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think.
And then they
think
try
so.
to call the match off because Brett won it, but Shawn Michaels technically wasn't KO'd
I think
yet.
that was like an Iron Man, or that was a no disqualification match or something, and that was like Shawn Michaels' first major title win, if I'm not mistaken. That was a big deal.
Yeah, he won it, and I remember, like, at first I thought, like, oh, Brett won. It's like, no, Brett didn't win because Shawn Michaels was still ready to go.
Yeah.
Join us next week for our wrestling special. We're just going to do an hour of wrestling.
We actually could. I actually.
Let's talk about Triple H.
Oh god, that'll take for
The whole
freaking
time I'm quiet. I'm here.
Okay, let's talk about something that Merc knows. Let's talk about Hulk Hogan for an hour.
All right, oh, we could do that. We could do that.
How much Andre the Giant hates him.
I can't really hate him now. He's dead. But,
Well, no, Andre the Giant hated him, like, even outside the ring.
Really?
He hated
Mhm,
him
he
with
did.
a passion. Kind of like the Iron Sheik and the Ultimate Warrior, or somebody in the Ultimate Warrior. Basically, those two were running for senator outside of thing, kind of like what's his name, Jason the Body Ventura.
Yep.
These two guys are running for senator, and they still hate each other. Like, at the same time, like, they would go to each other, like, crash each other's cars, like, rah, rah, rah. It's like, really?
Jesse Ventura's like a serious politician, like
Conspiracy theorist.
conspiracy theorist nutwing right now.
which is funny because, well, I don't think it's funny, but he used to be like the voice of the WWF. Yeah, we're going that
Yep.
far. He was him and what's his name, Gorilla Monsoon. You know,
Mhm.
they were doing that for ages until you got the King and then fucking JR.
Well, I
I
still
love
remember the
the
good old
King
days
and
of
JR.
Vince McMahon. I'm not. I remember he did things, and who was the other guy? Mean Gene Okerlund. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mean Gene Okerlund.
Good times, good times. Too bad I was too young to remember.
Does
that.
anyone remember Sergeant Slaughter?
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Remember when he? Oh, well, I don't remember, but I read about when him and the Iron Sheik formed a. I don't know what the alliance was called, but they were kind of like a tag team where they had their own. They were in cahoots with each other.
Mm.
I met so many ex-wrestlers at Comic-Con last year.
Oh, I'm
And some
sure.
of them had their shit together, and some of them definitely did not.
Well, you take so many hits to the head, you're not going to have your shit together.
So here's since we're on the topic of wrestling, which actually wasn't even on the agenda at all,
Not at all.
which is probably more interesting than the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight.
It always will be.
My best friend
Hey,
growing up.
Mayweather Pacquiao still a better love story than Twilight.
Mm.
It is. So my best friend growing up, his father used to run a limo company. The only guy in the world ever kicked Gene Simmons out of a limo. Like, you know the song Rock and Roll Band from Boston?
Mhm.
Played a week in Rhode Island, made to the stage one night, smoked a big cigar, drove a Cadillac car.
Yeah.
It's my best friend's father. They were talking about the kid I grew up with, Tom's father. So he also ran an entertainment business as well. And he got divorced in the 90s. He was so intertwined with that kind of world when he got divorced, and I guess he was having, I don't know what was going on at the time. Mind you, I overheard this story when I was in Boy Scouts.
That's reliable.
Yeah, but I overheard this when the adults were talking. And he goes, Vince McMahon hit me up and goes, hey, Jack, I heard, you're looking for some work. You want to, come and work for me. So basically he did all do not quote me, I think he did all the sound, all the audio, all the lighting for the WWF back in the 90s.
Nice.
And they have photos of his older brother Jack being held by Macho Man. They've had Hulk Hogan over for dinner. He was a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
So
All right, so moving on.
Anyway, we're still not talking about wrestling? Oh, sorry.
Here's another 20.
Oh, another
You
20?
need another 20.
It's been so long since I watched wrestling. I just can't take it seriously.
All right,
let's
Mark,
talk about
what's next?
Sting.
What?
What's next, Mark?
Can we talk about how hairy my pubes are?
Again? I just shaved it for you last week, buddy.
You did do a good job.
I got in the nooks and crannies. I had electric and it in my hand. Like, come on.
You gave me hard. Shut up.
I did my best not to cut a vein.
That I have another story for another day. Go on.
All right. Anyway.
So we're doing album reviews starting this week. Merc has.
We're going to start with Celebrity Sex Scandal's new album.
It was very, very good. I liked
Integral. I played it for everyone. It hasn't left my car in probably 2 weeks.
I enjoyed it.
It was good. I thought it was like Dog Fashion Disco meets like Fish.
I read a review online that said Dog Fashion Disco goes to college. It has 2 ex-members of DFD. It's got Jeff and Greg from the older days.
Which me and Mark met.
Yes.
We should probably put those photos.
With some photos. We'll Photoshop Brian Williams in them just because he was there.
No, he's always there.
Man Cat Brian Williams.
Going back to our old
Elegant
days
Man
right
Cat.
there.
Elegant Man Cat Brian Williams.
The vintage days of MercGoat Conspiracy. Yes,
Oh, you mean
yes.
like a month ago?
Yeah. Back when we still had dreams and hope and pussy was
Sleep.
still as hard to get as it is now.
Well, some things never change.
That is true. I have to give the album a 9. It's a little short. It's got like 9 full songs plus an intro.
So you giving it a 9 because of 9 songs?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. So if it was like 13, and we doing it on a scale out of 10, it'd be 13 out of 10?
Your math fails me, sir. I really like the burps. That's actually working for me. I think that's the only thing the album was missing was just random burps in between the songs, and we could rate them.
That's what you need. You need
Much
that
like
kind of filler.
much like at Joe's.
Yeah.
So we need like, when we do Jeff Goldblum, by the way, so these two don't know about it, but me and Merc, when we start a band, it's called Jeff Goldblum.
Okay.
It's a death metal band called Jeff Goldblum.
I know quite a few women who would just throw their panties on the stage because it's called Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah,
Please introduce us to them.
tell them I
Okay.
know the word Jeff Goldblum, and it,
Tell them that we have a Cards Against Humanity card enshrined to him.
Okay.
it's, yeah, that's, yeah.
But I like I said, I love the trumpets in it. The guitars are good. It's heavy, but it's melodic.
The first
It's
song you showed me, I love. What the heck was it called?
in passing.
In Passing. I thought it was, and I always go to them because they're one of my favorite bands. But it kind of reminded me a little Floyd, not really Floyd, but a little psychedelic with the psychedelic and ska almost. Then it got heavy, and I like that. You know, it wasn't too crazy, but it was.
It's very
cool.
unpredictable.
Yeah, it was very unpredictable. It was good. It was solid. I thought.
Well, next week, give us your ideas of what you'd like to review, and we're going to ignore you, our 3 listeners. Do we actually have any ideas we're going to review next week?
I have several albums in line, so if you want.
Awesome. We'll review one of SLB's many ideas next week. Moving on, it's been a very, very good summer for movies.
We just started. Avengers came out last week. We're gonna hold off on a review to that till every. You guys haven't seen it yet, have you?
No.
I haven't seen it yet.
So
However-
we're not even gonna talk about it. I mentioned it. We won't talk about it till you guys watch it.
Me and SLB saw it, we loved it, but that's as much as we're going to say.
Okay.
Better be. We're fighting.
So we're gonna start off with this summer. First of all, you know, this summer's a good summer for movies.
You have Ted 2,
You have Ted 2. You got
That's
the
gonna
new
be
Mad
awesome.
Max coming out, which,
and probably my absolute most favorite, Jurassic Park 2, with Chris Pratt.
well, Jurassic World, the
Or
fourth
not
one.
Jurassic Park 2, it's what, 4?
Well, what they're doing, from my understanding, they're actually ignoring what happened in 2 and 3.
Really?
So, and I'll tell you, when we saw Avengers and they played that trailer, I've seen that trailer like 20 times. Like, just happened to be like on TV or whether it's at a movie or whether it's online. That trailer hasn't gotten old, and every time I see it, I go, "This is gonna be the Jurassic Park movie of this generation."
It's going to be better than probably all of them but the first one.
I watched the first one like 3 months ago, and the first one for a movie that came out 22 years ago, still solid.
It doesn't feel dated.
Like, it's not like the graphics for 93. You think in 93 and you're like, okay, the CGI can't be that good. The fucking dinosaurs are nasty in that movie. You don't look at it now and go, those look kind of fake. Those things look fucking real. It looks like they go, okay, we're gonna need Spanky there, and we're gonna need him to barge to the fence.
And shit
No
everywhere.
shit everywhere.
I can't guarantee that with them.
No, but this may be the Jurassic Park movie. This is gonna be a solid Jurassic Park movie.
When's the Terminator movie come out? That's coming soon, right?
I don't know,
That's
but
in July.
July.
But I've never been interested in any of the Terminator movies. I saw 1, 2, those were great. But after that, nothing really caught my eye.
I saw them, but they weren't that great. This one might be a good...
This one looks...
I like the second one personally.
I love the second one.
No, I'm saying the first and second were awesome.
Mm.
But after that, it's like, oh, 3's coming out, 4's coming out, Salvation's coming out. And now you got this one, and Arnold's in it. This is his first movie since he's been governor as the Terminator.
No, he was in the movie previous to that too.
Yeah, but
he
it was
was.
more... But he was just like...
Cameoed.
Yeah, he wasn't even, like, really in the movie. He was just like, yeah, we're going to need a couple Arnolds in the back. You know, just, Arnold, we need you to stand there, and then we're going to just copy you. This is like him in the fuck. This looks good. Terminator's going to be good.
A lot of cheesy one-liners back with the old ones. Take my hand if you want to live. I'll be back.
Well,
what?
isn't that what The Expendables was? Is every cheesy
Yeah.
line from every action movie?
I couldn't get into that movie.
With
I like them.
okay, with I'm gonna break. When I saw it, was it 2? I think it was. Was it 2 with Bruce Willis?
Yes.
Yeah, where they're in fucking. With it's him and Bruce Willis, and they're sitting there, and they're under fire, and Arnold goes, "I'll be back," and Bruce Willis goes, "No, I'll be back," and he runs away, and I think Arnold looks at him and goes, "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker!"
It's true. He did that.
Yeah, it's just like,
What did they do, like a Chuck
The
Norris
burp was
joke
a
in it
two.
too?
yeah, and Chuck Norris did it.
Yeah, Chuck Norris like, oh, I heard you got bitten by a mouse. Like, yeah, after a couple days of excruciating pain, it died.
Mm-hmm.
But that was fun. You know what? It's just like every internet meme thrown together about those action. It was just a fun.
He was the oldest guy in that movie too, at 74 years old.
He don't look like. It's like Patrick Stewart. He don't look like he's aging.
Mm-mm.
The thing about
I
him is he
heard-
could come in and kick all our asses at once. And
Right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right now.
Now, you guys can probably correct me if I'm wrong. I heard Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs is 60. Like, he's in his 60s.
Probably.
I don't know anything about his age.
Personally, with the Expendables movies, the second one, it was Bruce Willis and Arnold Schwarzenegger and
Statham was in it, wasn't he?
well, yeah, but I'm talking about Stallone. The three of them actually got together in the same room. They had a conversation. Every '80s kid geeked out right then. I have to say, and being an '80s kid,
Mike Rowe is 53,
He's
and
53.
he's from Baltimore.
I knew he was from Baltimore.
But
We got Ant-Man coming out, next month?
Ant-Man's coming out next month, or it's coming out this summer. When I first saw the trailer for Ant-Man, it didn't look good. It's like, oh, cool, Ant-Man. It's just another Marvel movie. But the last trailer that came out looked really good.
Now, I got a problem with Ant-Man. I do. Because
tell us, Ginger.
I don't think he's Hank Pym. I don't remember hearing him say the name of the guy, of Paul Rudd's character.
Hank Pym is the older guy, is Michael Douglas.
Yeah, okay.
Because I know there's a couple different Ant-Mans. And
As far as
it's
I
Scott
know, there's
Lang.
only Hank Pym, the man who discovered the Pym particles, was able to use it through the suit, which I guess is what he gives to Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd is Scott Lang. He's the criminal
Yeah.
one. Which is funny. Best line in the whole trailer is where they're sitting there and Paul Rudd goes, you know, my days of breaking into place and stealing stuff are over. What do you need me to do? I need you to break into a place and steal a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Okay. But it looks really cool. I know Ant-Man, from what I've been reading up on, he's not really a favorite.
He's a lesser known.
He's a lesser known, but he's not like a B. He's like on a thin line. Like, whatever Avengers comic book I've read, he's in. But he's not like, he's no Iron Man. He's no Hulk. He's no
Well, he was originally Ant-Man, then he became
Giant Man.
Giant Man, then he had another superhero persona after that,
Mm-hmm.
which is basically he could fly with, kind of like Wasp, but he wasn't a Wasp, I forgot what he called himself. And then he went back to being like Ant-Man. Now, my problem with the Avengers, the second one, I didn't see it, but because they call it Age of Ultron, I'm pretty sure Hank Pym is not in Avengers Age of Ultron.
No, he's
the
not.
man who initially created Ultron.
The one thing I am gonna say about Age of Ultron, when is Hawkeye gonna get his own movie?
I don't know, but
He was good
was
in that
good.
movie.
Black Widow's supposed to get an origin movie, from what I hear.
she is. I don't think
I'm hoping.
she's not going to probably have one till after 2019. That's what the schedule looks like. Probably phase 4.
Yeah, the first Marvel is 2018 for Captain Marvel, the first chick movie.
Yeah, which should be good. I don't know nothing about her. So
I really would hope that they would have Black Widow before then, but, you know. And there was an SNL skit, actually, about how Black Widow doesn't get any origin movies or any movies, period.
While Scarlett Johansson's still hot.
Yeah.
Well, Scarlett Johansson's the one who did the parody, obviously.
Oh.
It was Black Widow in a romantic comedy done by Marvel.
Well,
It was funny.
I like the SNL skit where it's Hawkeye, Captain America, and
Was that
Black
after
Widow.
they beat? No, I'm thinking of
And they're
another
sitting
one.
there, it's like, Hawkeye, you ran out of arrows? Yeah, I only had like 11 arrows. You only had 11 arrows to find an army of 50,000 aliens? Yeah, and I killed 11 of them.
which is funny because watching the Arrow, I think in Arrow, Oliver Queen does run out of arrows every so often.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Well, you can't have an infinite amount.
yeah, but that's realistic. And
Yeah.
Between the first Avengers movie and this movie, he never ran out of arrows. Every time he looked at his quiver, it's like, wait a minute,
He has one left.
he still has the same amount of arrows. And there's like 10 in there. There's 5
Well,
in
in the
there.
first Avengers movie, when they fought Loki, he did have one arrow left in that final battle.
Yeah, but he still had him.
He used the last arrow. I think he shot at Loki with it, and then from there, he just caught it. But I think he has a device on that. But basically, his arrows are kind of retractable, so they can stay at his side. He has like one of those little contraptions, so that's how he's able to restock. But it does run out after a certain point.
That would make sense, because you wouldn't be able to fit all of them in the quiver.
But at the same point, he's not just an arrow man. He can also like fight with the bow, use a weapon like Oliver Queen.
Yeah.
But we got so many superhero movies coming out. Fantastic Four, Suicide
Fantastic
Squad,
Four comes out this year, which is
It's in August.
Wonder
it's
Woman.
I guess who's doing that?
Wonder Woman.
Fox is doing that or something. It's not in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah, let's talk about. In 2017, there's like 8 superhero movies, which I don't think in our lives we've ever seen that many superhero movies.
When's Suicide Squad due out?
That's next year. Which they did release photos of Harley Quinn, and I'll tell you right now.
I think we're all in love, actually.
And
I
that's-
could take it or leave it.
You gotta be different, huh, Ginger?
Yep. I don't care for that.
He's into T-Rexes.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, I don't like psychotic women, but she can call me Mr. J, and the safe word is Betsy.
Oh, there's no safe word with Harley Quinn, let's be honest.
That's another one that I would happily die for.
You would let her shit on your chest and not
I
even
would
think
not
of
let
it
her shit
twice.
on my chest. I'd shit on hers, otherwise she wouldn't respect me.
That is true.
You got to display dominance.
But do you know who's playing?
Speaking of shit, Batman vs. Superman's another one coming.
No, it's
true.
actually. I think it's going to be a good movie. From my understanding,
Just don't like Superman.
I hope Batman whoops his ass.
So
Me
you're
too.
not, so you're not a fan of Batflick? What's his name? Batflick, they were calling him? Like
Batflick?
Ben Affleck playing Batman. They call him like Batflick.
Yeah, I've heard that.
You will. That's
I don't
actually
know.
based off of the Batman Returns graphic novel, which The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises have elements from. Definitely a book you guys got to read. I just read it. It's a.
But the problem is that whole thing, like, future time where
Just in
Batman's
case
an older
anyone was
man.
wondering, every
Yeah, but
one of
that's
those has been Zorn.
But that's where the Batman Rises, where he's older and he comes back. Because between The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises,
Yeah,
what's the time period between that? Like 5-10 years?
something like that.
Something like that. There's the fight that's going to happen between Batman and Superman. That's taken from The Dark Knight Returns. Superman is involved in that. And as much as, and I know you're saying, Merc, you don't like Superman, the more I read the comics, and after seeing Man of Steel, and actually including Aquaman, because you mentioned it before, that Aquaman's a lot like Superman, which he is,
Yes, he's basically our Superman.
from the sea.
Yeah.
Superman is, the more you read up on him, maybe just because it's what I've seen rather than what I've read, the more I read about him, the more it's like, okay, I get it. Not my favorite. I'm just reading a lot of graphic novels. I'm enjoying it. I enjoy when he comes in.
Do you know what his original powers were?
There are 3 of them, you said.
Yep.
Jumping high,
Yep.
something else, and then the third one.
Super speed and invulnerability.
What he said.
So, moving on outside of the superhero realm, there's other movies we like.
The new Mad Max is coming out.
The new Mad Max, yes.
Star
Force
Wars, but we
Awakens.
don't have to talk about. That's not till December.
Well, let's wait for those. The one
Yeah,
I'm very anticipating, because they actually just released the cast, The Hateful Eight, the new Tarantino movie, being my favorite director, writer, pretty much everything.
I think he might be one of mine, if not my favorite. Top 3 for me.
He's amazing. A lot of his regulars are going to be in this. Samuel L. Jackson, of course.
I think Christoph Waltz from the last 2 is going to be in it.
I haven't heard about Christoph Waltz.
I would be surprised, though.
It could be. I heard Channing Tatum's going to be in it.
I think the cast that was released was the Hateful Eight that he mentions. Probably the 8 heroes. So if Christoph Waltz is in this, he might be a villain.
I haven't seen it yet. Kurt Russell's going to be in it. Tim Roth, more regulars from him.
Tim Roth hasn't been in a movie of his since, I think, 4 Rooms.
True. Michael Madsen, he's going to be in there.
Mr. Jackson,
The guy that played in The Shield, Walton Goggins, and he was the racist hillbilly that was going to chop his dick off in Django. Pretty much plays the same role in every movie, but it'd be interesting to see.
so he tries to chop some black guy's dick off every movie?
Pretty much.
Was he the guy trying to rape Marcellus Wallace?
Ah, there you go.
No, he was too young to do that role.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Zoe Bell, I know she's been in a couple of his movies.
Uma
So
Thurman in it?
she's not,
Oh, wow.
but it should be a very interesting cast. I'm
She's his
excited.
go-to girl.
Oh, Zoe, that was
Zoe Bell, isn't that the girl that was on the hood in Death Proof?
Yeah, actually, she's Uma Thurman's stunt double.
Yeah, she was in
Yeah.
Kill Bill. Yep.
Really?
Yeah, so she's gonna be in it.
She's not bad for looking either. For a stunt
No.
girl, not bad.
Especially, I think she's pushing her. She's in her 40s.
No, she looks good.
40's like the new 20 at this point, honestly.
Well, it just says how bad our people are compared to other countries when it comes to aging, I should say.
Yeah, I think she's from what? Australia, New Zealand?
New Zealand, I believe.
What's her name? Nicole Kidman's from New Zealand or Australia, as well as Hugh Jackman.
Mm-hmm.
But another movie that we probably will review down the road. There was that Metalhead movie you were telling me about.
There's a Metalhead movie about I don't know if it's a documentary or just a film about a girl whose brother dies and she inherits brother.
Her brother dies, like, basically, they live on a farm. The brother dies in an accident. She goes to the room and basically finds solace through the music that he listened to. The Black Sabbath, the Judas Priest. And she started listening to that. And then from there, opened up the world of metal to her.
I know it jumps forward a couple of years. We actually want to watch this movie.
Because she's, like, 14 when the brother dies, and then jumps to, like, when she's 20-something.
Expect a review. I don't know a lot about it.
We're gonna watch it the next.
But we're
within the
certainly
next
going to
month.
watch it. As a podcast, too, probably.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. We're going to try to do podcast things.
Yeah.
Well, not every movie can be great. This kind of came to our attention last week at trivia, ironically. Me and Ginger play trivia every Tuesday night. There's a lot of movies that lose a shit ton of money. A lot of people have seen them, though, and they're okay movies. The one that comes to mind is R.I.P.D.
I was
Never
actually
seen
interested in watching that movie, and I never did see it.
I saw it. It was okay.
I saw the ending with the CGI looked awful.
CGI was kind of shitty, but it wasn't terrible, but it lost hundreds of millions of dollars.
Really?
And there are
Yes.
movies that do that. There are movies that are hyped up and they don't make anything.
Another one I can remember, Stealth.
Sahara.
Sahara.
That was on the list. Sahara, 13th Warrior, 42 Ronin.
I saw 47.
I think it's 47 running.
47. I saw
47.
47 running, and actually didn't lose that much money. It's not like
That was number one on the list,
Yeah,
though.
but the thing is, there's two lists. There's the one with inflation and one without inflation.
Mhm.
And I believe with inflation, that is the number one losses of all time. But of course, that doesn't really represent. That's box office. That doesn't represent DVD sales or Netflix deals or all that other shit.
no. If you want to include that, you could say that Rocky Horror was a flop. Rocky Horror was a flop.
Yes, it was.
Yep.
Boondock Saints.
We're not saying it's
Fight Club.
The new Sin City was a flop.
Yes, it was. It
Really?
did not do well. But you have to realize, over the years, it will slowly make the money back. I doubt there's many movies that are still hugely in the hole. And Hollywood makes so much money anyway. Who cares if they are? But it's just interesting to see what movies fail. I remember Mars Needs Mums.
I didn't see a lot of advertisements, but when I saw it was a Disney movie coming out, I'm like, oh, this might be the next best thing. And the movie came out, and I don't think anybody saw it. It was like almost $200 million to make, pulled in $15 million opening day
Mhm.
in the States,
I know John Carter was another flop.
which is surprising because that's a book that's
Lone
over 100
Ranger.
years old.
Yeah, the Lone Ranger with Johnny Depp was a huge flop. I remember seeing the previews for that and not thinking it was horrible.
It looked okay. It looked watchable.
I know
Yeah.
people who saw it and they said it was decent,
And a lot of it is they're not bad movies. To say they're the 10 worst movies ever made, it's a stretch. But it's just interesting to see. I remember in the 80s, Weird Al did UHF, and,
God,
and
I
it
love
failed
that movie.
horribly. Not because it was a bad movie, because I've heard it's great, but because it came out like the same week as like Indiana Jones and
You ever saw that?
something else. I haven't, but I've heard great things.
You-
I saw
UHF is amazing.
It's awesome. It's Weird Al Yankovic at his finest.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what about that Howard Stern movie, Private Parts?
I haven't seen that.
Never seen that.
You never seen Private
I don't
Parts?
think it flopped horribly, though.
No. Another one that actually, here's one for you. This one flopped in the States, but it made its money 10 times over around the world was Battleship.
I remember you mentioning that, yeah.
Battleship, from what I didn't see
The
it.
one with Rihanna and the Navy, where they're fighting the aliens in the water.
Yes, that movie did horrible in the States, but in that opening weekend, it made all of its money back. It was like 280, 300 million, and it made its money back worldwide. I'm like, who wants to see a movie about a game where people are going, F1, hit.
All I know is that probably has a lot to do with maybe Battleship isn't as prominent in other countries, and that may have a lot to do with it. They don't have that preconceived notion of You're going to say F1 like 55 times in this movie.
But I'm pretty sure they weren't thinking of making it like the game when they originally made the movie. Like, I think the name happened to be called.
But people are still going to do the comparison and go...
Yeah, it's like if I make a movie called Shoots and Ladders, like, what the fuck is this about? Slides and ladders?
It's a Korn song.
That actually is a Korn song.
It is.
I've seen it
I love
like
that song.
twice. It's probably my favorite Korn song. I'm not crazy about Korn, but
I like that one and the one where they're recording in the front of it, and it's like, dude, you gotta do it fucking right, man. Come on. There's Iron here like, fuck you, just fucking do it.
And we wonder why Korn had issues in the past. Anyway,
Wasn't that like the first album was issues?
I don't remember. No, their
Follow the Leader.
their first album was self-titled.
No, I thought it was Follow the Leader, Life is Peachy.
No,
Issues.
the first CD was the self-titled. It had like the girl on the swing and like the shadow casting over it.
was that the one Freak on a Leash?
I don't believe it was.
No, Freak on a Leash had the one with the girl playing
Life is
hopscotch
Peachy.
going off a cliff.
Life is Peachy was the second album. I remember that.
Yep.
The self-title was the first. I
Well,
think
they had another self-title. They had two self-titles album then.
the original was a self-titled. I do remember that. Not that I care that much about Korn anymore. They've stopped being good a long
Since
time
Korn's a
ago.
movie, and we're totally talking about them as a movie.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to movies and shows. I finally saw Daredevil,
Outside.
as
Thank
everyone
God.
else fucking saw it.
Of course, it's amazing.
And you know, seeing a guy get his head chopped off by a car door,
There you go.
as Ginger said, is amazing. It's so well written. It's really well done for something that's not on TV or released in theaters. Like it's actually incredible how good it really is.
Now,
Exactly.
two guys at my work don't like the show.
Really.
I know one guy who doesn't like.
I was talking to one of the guys. It's like, so have you seen Daredevil? It's like, yeah. You know, I don't like it. It's like, what do you mean you don't like
But did
it?
they actually give you reasons, or they just say it sucks?
Well, he was like, well, at first I just didn't really watch it. Just kind of had to play in the background. Well, if you're not going to pay attention, of course you're not going to fucking like it. How about you just sit down and watch it?
That's like not watching like the first season of Lost and then watching the second one. This sucks.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, Lost
I don't know what's
sucks.
going on, so this show sucks. No, because you didn't fucking pay attention. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, that's what one of the kids was that I work with. He was saying like, "Oh, Lost is better than Daredevil." Fuck you, Lost sucks. I'll tell you how it ends right now. All right, fuck you.
They're all really dead or some shit. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
told that too. They're all dead. Huh?
Spoilers.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Why the fuck is there a
spoilers.
polar bear on a tropical island? Explain that to me, huh? It doesn't make sense. There's no theory behind that.
Why? It's Chewbacca. A Wookiee.
Ah,
Did,
yes.
did you get to the
And he
plot
lives
yet?
on Endor.
Let the Wookiee win.
Well, someone getting their head chopped off by a car door is pretty metal.
Oh, it just teaches you not to interrupt the boss in the middle of a date.
Absolutely. However, that leads us to John's metal moment of the week, or Ginger's metal moment of the week. Doesn't really fucking matter. Ginger is John, in case you weren't sure.
Ginger John.
So, my middle moment of the week is eating.
Eating.
Now, just the act of eating. Think about it. Like, you take something in your mouth, you crush it, just destroy this thing in your mouth, swallow it down to your stomach where these acids just secrete out and dissolve that food down. Just break it out.
You're describing my first blowjob.
You had a woman just dissolving a dick in her mouth? That's what you're telling me? And then
That's
she
worse
never
than the
proceeded
wood
to
chipper.
swallow the remnants of your dick.
I forced everyone to watch this anti-texting commercial.
This is probably
Oh
the
my
greatest
God.
thing ever.
It's the greatest.
That makes you want to masturbate?
Yes, yes it does.
Wow.
And not because the girls in it are hot, mind you.
So, if we want to stop, like, people texting and show them a picture of a car getting destroyed, if we want to stop, like, genocide, can we show a video of, like, people getting forced into a train and then gassed or, like, raped?
No, because that's
we'll
going to make
show
me want to
you
do it more. I'm fucked up in the head. We know this.
Apparently more than me.
No, we'll show them the video of the what's it called?
Lemmings?
Lemmings, yeah, when they're being natural selected.
All right, let me explain this commercial to you. And I encourage you all to watch it. There's a guy in the back, totally stoned out of his mind, listening to his music on headphones. There's a girl in the passenger seat, and there's a girl driving. And they're playing, what's that, like charades?
Something like that.
They're playing like some type of charades. It's like, what am I
Texting.
doing right now? Smiling? And it has nothing to do with her texting. And they're talking of the charade
Well, she
game.
then picks up her phone to text. That's
Yeah.
when the car slammed
Yeah.
her.
So she decides to pick up her phone. For some reason, she doesn't know where she's driving. And this is one thing. I know a lot of people that text and drive. Most people that text and drive know where the fuck they're going when they're doing it and know where the stop signs are.
Mhm.
Apparently she didn't. Runs a stop sign, and here comes a semi-truck. I don't know why the semi-truck is doing 90 miles an hour.
Through a stop sign.
Through a stop sign. But the semi-truck is doing 90 miles an hour. Hits said car, and they start rolling around, and you see glass and shit everywhere. And it looks like they might have actually done it, because you can actually see the people in this car, and it looks like, you know, they're going for a ride. And the car rolls over like 19 times. It's awesome.
Into a ravine.
Every time that car rolls, I get a little bit harder. It's just...
Why was the car in a ravine? You never saw it fall down a bridge.
Exactly.
It's just...
It didn't look like it was in a bridge area. It looked like a white suburban neighborhood. Next thing you know, they're in a river. Like, how far
that's how far they hit them. The truck
boom! Next town over.
But the thing is, it doesn't make me want to text and drive less. Not that I really do. I do ingress and drive, but that's besides the point.
Oh, you know, we all know that.
However...
All the ingressors in the world ingress and drive.
However, does anyone actually have an idea of a commercial that will actually make you stop texting and driving? Because I know all of you fuckers do it.
When you go look down at your phone and turn it on, a fist comes out and just socks you in the eye.
There you go. There you go.
So Ginger has the fist in the phone?
Is this similar to the whole we're going to make you watch...
How about you? Do you have an idea to stop texting and driving?
Don't do it.
Okay.
But what's gonna make you not do it? Not just no.
Yeah, fuck you. Yeah, you actually have to give us a reason.
Okay, here's one. I'm going to work. I slept for no hours. No hours, yes, I said no hours.
So under an hour.
We can tell.
I slept for no hours, and I looked down to go look at my phone, and guess what? I left my phone at home while I'm going to work for the next 10 hours. There we go. I'm not texting at all.
So forget your phone. Great. You
Awesome.
don't want social life.
You're just on top of it. Zorn.
All right, so personally, I think we should go for the electrocution approach. They just put a collar on.
Oh, the Pavlo approach.
Exactly. You just gotta, a collar. You put the collar on every time you try and touch the phone.
So let's put them into cardiac arrest while they're driving and crash into the Jersey barrier on 95.
Exactly.
Still a better love story than Twilight. So, who here has trouble sleeping? In case anyone didn't realize, all four of us have raised our hands.
I start taking ZQL for a while.
What's your problem with trying to sleep?
What do you mean? What's my
Like,
problem?
what makes it just you just don't get tired? What is it?
There's too much internet and not enough nighttime.
Okay, I agree with you completely. SLB.
Well, I don't have to tell you guys, and unfortunately, I do want to
Jerking it.
apologize. Well, between that and work, I'm working.
How long do you jerk it for? And how many times? Jesus.
I mean, I usually go
Apparently
like 3
days.
hours if I want to kill some time. Like,
I can kill half an hour off, but holy
Well,
shit,
usually,
dude.
like I'm like looking at videos, and I'm like, "Hey, Ginger, you know anything? Yeah, check this video out."
Well,
I'll check some
Ginger-
video out. Next thing you know, I'm watching some alien abduct a cow. I'm like, dude, check this video out.
Have you seen the man tickle a lion's balls?
Not yet. You should show me that one too.
All right.
So between, and I do want to apologize. I
Man
am-
walks up, tickles lion's balls, and just goes back to the lion. And the lion's just like, whatever.
So you're gonna do that to us?
Maybe. You guys just be sitting there with like video camera, like what was it? Jackass,
Yeah.
like neat with the razor, so don't go behind
If you ever touch my balls, we're gonna recreate that texting commercial, just so you know.
You're gonna put me in a car, flip me over.
Yeah, like 90 times.
Throwing into a ravine.
And
That
it's gonna
doesn't
get hard while you're
exist
doing it.
prior.
So, no, I do want to apologize. I am late because I'm working 2 jobs right now. I'm doing these edits by myself.
We actually recorded this in 2013, in case anyone was curious.
Yes, 2013, and I didn't meet these guys till 2014.
Yep.
So,
We had to time travel just to do this.
future evil.
Everything's chrome in the future.
It's like that fucking stupid ass fucking preview for Tomorrowland, or what the fuck that movie was called.
Yeah,
Tomorrowland,
we're gonna
George
take a
Clooney.
section of Disney and we're gonna make a movie out of it. Next up is Frontierland.
Well, that's how they make Pirates of the Caribbean.
Next is Holocaust Land.
No, but they took Pirates of the Caribbean was a ride. They took a whole section of Disney, the Tomorrowland section. This is a movie coming out, and they picked George Clooney to lead that movie.
Got some issues there, SLP?
I think it's the booze talking now.
So going back on to the whole sleeping
So
thing.
yeah, I'm literally doing 30-hour days. I'm having I'm dead serious. I've done ZQL and melatonin in one night, and I'm still not sleeping.
Melatonin helps me. The problem with me is, I'm online, I'm on Facebook, and I see, 13 celebrities that married fucking ugly men. Oh, I better look at that.
I
And
get
then,
distracted with the two.
yeah, and then I see like 10 gay movie stars you didn't know were gay, and that one leads to 5 movie stars that have kids that you didn't know about, and that one leads to
10
who the
crazy
fuck.
women that Zorn would fuck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you literally, you read 18 lists in an hour, and you have to close every fucking advertisement every 3 seconds. But you're like, no, I gotta see the last one. Oh my
I
god!
had one last night. It was Nerdy High Heels. I seen Game of Thrones, The White Queen, a comic book one, some like strawberry one with like cream. I don't know what that one was for.
Strawberry shortcake.
Something like that. Yeah, strawberry shortcake ones. And it's like, okay, these look okay. I don't know why I'm still looking, but yeah, let's.
These are high heels. I'm a guy. Why do I even want these?
There's only 5 pages. I can go through these.
So it's like, oh, I'm tired. I'm about to fall asleep. But no, I must see 15 different prom failure photos.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And it's funny, there's sponsored advertisements. Like, how is this sponsored? I touched your link once, and now you're spamming my fucking newsfeed on Facebook.
So,
Very
we all
interesting.
can't sleep. We all learned a little bit about each other today. Let's move on.
Well,
Sure,
technically, the reason why I don't sleep is because I'm trying to write 3 books at once, and I don't have enough time during the day.
Ah.
But moving on.
Is that trying to like drink from 3 cans of soda at the same time? It just never works.
He's actually writing 3 books, but because there's not enough time in the day, he's working on making a time machine so he can go back in time and have more time to write.
One's an
books.
erotic novel, one's a fantasy fiction, and one of them's nonfiction. And he forgets which one he's writing, so they all kind of blend together.
It's the same story.
So, we really are going to move on now.
Awesome. Going on.
We're going to go to the celebrity death match of biblical proportions.
Biblical proportions, my friends.
Quite literally.
Literally.
Moses versus Noah.
Yeah, we had this discussion last night while walking to the convenience store down the street, and somebody said something like, what if it was Moses versus Noah? And it's like, that should be this week's celebrity death match.
I forgot how you came up with it. I'm like, wait a minute. I have an idea.
So,
Well, if you have an idea, why don't you go first?
Well,
let's put the cards into play. As we all know, for those of you who have read, whether you believe it or not, for those of you who know the Bible, Noah is the guy who built the big boat to save humanity from the flood.
and Moses got lost in the desert for like 100 years.
On top of parting the Red Sea. No, not my brother. Sleeping with his wife.
Oh god.
So, this is how I envision it. Moses is fucking pissed off. He's been in the desert 20 years, and everyone's following him still for some reason. I don't know why, but they are.
Okay.
And it starts to rain. And it's raining. And it's raining. And it's raining.
So we get it. It's raining.
It's raining.
Okay.
But it's 40 days of rain. And the sand becomes mud. And all of a sudden, here comes a drunk asshole in a boat with a shitload of animals on it. And he's just taunting poor Moses. Hey, I know where the fuck I'm going. You don't know where the fuck you're going. So he decides that he's going to use some of the more expendable animals as weapons. So he grabs a pair of unicorns
That's what I was thinking of.
and decides to chuck them overboard, as says Moses.
This brought to you by alcohol. Moving on.
That's all it's ever watched this by?
This is still better than the one I had last week.
I don't know.
Just wait. See what happens.
So the unicorns miss and they fucking drown horribly, and that's why we don't have unicorns.
Wow. All right.
He throws the dodos overboard.
They were useless anyways. He just threw them overboard because they were taking up space at that point.
So Moses grabs on the side of the boat, and they start fighting. They hug a lot, kind of like Mayweather and Pacquiao. I can't even focus.
Keep trying, assholes. I feel like I'm in Spaceballs right now.
So they get into it, and out of nowhere, a white rhino comes out, charges into Noah on accident. He falls off. The poor bastard can't swim. That's why he's an ark. He drowns.
So he can't swim like Weather can't read.
Yeah, and the boat runs his ass over, and Moses is your winner. But he's smart, and he takes the identity of Noah, and no one ever knows.
So he's really Noah and
Noah is Moses.
Noahception.
Noahception.
Oh god.
If you can top that, I will buy you a drink.
All right, Ginger.
All right.
Which isn't hard to do.
So, here's Moses leading his people through the desert.
I already did that.
Well, that's what he's doing, okay? So then he's going through the desert. Where this tidal wave just goes going over. Just coming out of
Is this
nowhere.
like the one from Interstellar, where it's like 1,000 feet high?
Let him go.
No. Just this tidal wave just coming out. And on top of the tidal wave, there's this arc. There's this arc. And Noah's on top of the ark, positioned like, yeah, onward! And then he looks down and he sees Moses. He's like, this fucker! So he starts grabbing animals. Like, he starts taking hummingbirds, just pegging him with hummingbirds. Like little darts. Then when he runs out of hummingbirds, he moves on to the penguins, because they still got sharp feet. He's like, like, fuck this guy! Moses, and his great power, is just like, nope, splits the water in half. Noah's like, oh, shit!
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Now, at this time, Moses had 40 commandments.
Oh, okay.
Moses had the 40 commandments on him right now.
What the hell was the 40th commandment? Don't
40
eat
40
fruit
commandments.
on Tuesday? Like,
Well, here's what happened. Noah came out and they started having a staff battle, like wizards.
All right, right.
Looked like Gandalf and Sauron going at it, like,
Anything like rap battle?
a little like that. But then out of nowhere, Moses takes one of the commandments, just bashes his head in with it. It's like, the commandment just shatter. We're down to 30. And he just keeps doing that, so we're down to 10. And it's just keeps beating them with these commandments. Eventually, Moses wins. Just bashing his head in with the 40 commandments.
Okay.
so he got killed by biblical scripture. That's beautiful.
All right.
SLB.
So, I'm gonna go with the tidal wave idea, because that's, as we know...
So you're stealing from me and John now.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal from both of you.
Okay.
Kind of.
Okay.
As long as you admit it.
So, it's not copyright, so don't worry. You can't sue me.
Oh, I was planning on suing you. I was just gonna make patches.
break you in the mouth.
Whatever the fuck his T-Rex's name is. Not
Spanky?
Spanky.
I'm gonna have Spanky shit on you.
Good.
So, tidal waves come. Actually, no. Noah's going around. Noah's doing this floaty thing on the boat.
Sure.
He's doing a floaty thing?
He's doing a floaty thing, and he
He's got
finally
little
spots
floaty
land,
arms on?
And Moses is like, "No, this is Sparta.
But it's not.
It's
It's
not
Jerusalem.
Sparta. No." So he goes to whack his.
He goes to
He
whack
goes for his
himself
penis.
He
off.
goes to whack his staff off.
This is actually Noah and Moses porn. Sam's going a little out of the lines.
Sorry, I gotta stand up now. I'm just like,
Oh, he's getting hard.
I'm getting so fucking hot. Feel like I'm from like East Boston. That's what happens. You got Christian Bale and he's Moses. And you go fucking Marky Mark, he's fucking Noah.
So Noah's gonna win knowing SLB.
So, Christian Bale's like, Noah, let my people go. Which he doesn't have people, he does have animals on his boat. Because, Moses is part of PETA, and he's against animal abuse, and he feels like them being on the boat.
I don't know. He made it rain frogs on a guy, so...
You know what? Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect.
Jesus is.
He's not in this battle.
Yeah, currently Jesus is friggin' doing the lawns right now. It's not important.
Good.
So,
He steals hubcaps from cars.
he's like, Moses, let my people go. Noah, let my people go. Smacks his staff down. And as he smacks it down, the Red Sea parts. And it throws Noah's boat up. And Noah's like, feel the vibrations. The boat, Moses not thinking, the boat comes flying down on top of Moses. Moses is killed. Noah wins.
That was anticlimactic, but okay.
Okay.
Zorn.
So, I'm thinking that, it's the two of them. The two of them, this is pre,
Oh, so you're not just going to use our ideas. You're actually going to do your own.
Yeah, actually.
That's amazing.
Oh,
Thank you.
fantastic. Sure.
Yeah.
So, right now, Noah's, he's getting the message from God. Noah. What? It's gonna rain like shit, build a boat. Really? I want an ark. Make it quick.
Go for wood.
Are we using standard or are we doing metric?
So how many cubits, Lord? Look in the manual. Alright, sir. So he goes in and he gets the manual. And he doesn't, have one. Because, you never have a manual.
He goes on his tablet, he downloads one.
So he goes, and
most
he decides that
tablets.
he's going to get help. And, you gotta go to, the home source. So he goes, and he finds Moses out in the desert.
At Home Depot?
Out in the desert. He's like, dude, you got the Ark thing? I lost it. Did you get it with the Ten Commandments? And he's like, yeah, sure. I'm going to give it to you. It's $99.95. Well, this is back in, there's no money right now. I don't have $99.95. And that's what starts the fight.
All I can see is like the Peter Griffin chicken fight. For some reason, that's what it makes me think of.
No. You see, so the two of them, start, girly fighting because it's the old days and they're, men of God, so they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're throwing sand at each other. They're, slapping each other.
It's like a WWE Diva fight.
And then, from on high, God is watching. He's just like, what are you doing? Lord, is that you? Yes, just give him the fucking manual. But Lord, I already broke it apart and used it to slap him with. Well, we're just gonna have to do this the old school way. And it starts raining fire, and they both set on fire and die. They both lose. God wins.
All right, God wins. We have 1 for Noah, 2 for Moses. Moses is moving on. That was strange.
Yes, it was.
Next week is Jesus and Muhammad.
No, I get attacked by Al Qaeda.
Let's see how many religions we can piss off in 1 month. Let's do it.
We should.
Shiva versus Thor.
All right, moving on. As you know, we all hate censorship because we swear a fucking lot on this show.
I watch a lot of uncensored porn.
He watches a lot of porn.
Really, I watch that Christian porn.
Yeah.
Did you see Noah?
Is that where they just wait?
Yeah, they cross the Red Sea and they're like, it's like if they're not married yet, it's like, I'm gonna wait to marry your daughter, and they sit there and they have tea and everything's happy.
So
you hear about that abstinent couple? Like they're still like couple years into marriage, and they still have not had sex. Basically, whenever he gets horny, he takes a bite of a raw potato.
That would make me more horny. I don't know about you. That would just get me hard, just biting down on this giant piece of starch.
Angrily.
Still need to do. I'm not gonna watch salads. I just eat lettuce angrily.
I can just imagine you doing that with your girlfriend, just fucking cock slapping her while you're biting into a potato. I can see it. Anyway, we hate censorship, clearly, and we like porn a lot.
Fuck censorship. That's another shirt we're making. Fuck censorship.
But
censorship is censored out.
That will be our serious shirt. I like that. Censorship. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, we got the one serious shirt and everything else is just weird.
However, it's something that we do stand against without getting too political. The weirdest censorship I've seen lately, my favorite NASCAR driver, Clint Boyer. He has 5 Hour Energy as a sponsor. I'm sure you've all at least heard of it. Bigger...
What's 5 Hour Energy?
Fuck you. The bigger diecast, the adult collectibles per se, have 5 Hour Energy clearly on it. And then they have the Hot Wheels cars size 1. They're called 1/64 scale. For some reason, they're not allowed to put 5 Hour Energy on the 1/64th cars anymore, the small ones that the kids play with. So all they have is Clint Boyer. It's, same paint scheme. Much like they did with the Miller Lite cars. They'll have the driver or the team name on it. And growing up, I always wanted those cars anyway because it wasn't going to, Camel used to have Jimmy Spencer drive for them. And I actually had the Matchbox Camel one because my parents didn't give a shit. Because I wanted, the real thing. I didn't want the one that said, hey, this is the Jimmy Spencer car. No, I wanted the fucking Camel car. It's not going to make me want to smoke cigarettes. So now they're doing that with energy supplements. Apparently, that's not okay to market that to kids now. Okay. And they have to censorship it.
Which is... you're putting energy drinks on a... I can understand why people are against tobacco and why people don't like smoking. I mean, I'm all for it. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. That's your decision. Same thing with energy drinks. But why... Well, that's not even... You can't put that on the same level as tobacco when you're promoting that.
No, of course not.
No. And especially as you're saying, you just want the car. It's not going to promote kids. If you have Camel in a car... I mean, granted... There may be that one or two kid that goes, oh, that's a can. I might want to,
Well, now, even with the bigger ones, what they do is all the beer and tobacco cars. Actually, you can't even sponsor NASCARs with tobacco anymore. It's only beer now.
No.
If you have a beer car, even the big ones, they have to glue it to this metal base that you can never remove it from.
Wow.
And I actually have a couple of them. It's just, why? Why can't I enjoy my collectible, put it in my display case with the rest of them? No, I have to keep it separate because of that fucking base. It's stupid.
It's funny. I didn't even know because somebody came in the other day and asked for when I was working at my other job. That's for Winston lights, and I said something. I go, the first time I ever heard of Winston was an old '60s commercial. It was the Flintstones promoting Winston cigarettes, a kids' TV show promoting cigarettes. This was like the early '60s. This was when the Flintstones was black and white.
Smoke.
So, and then the guy who's buying them goes, I'm surprised people don't know more about it. He goes, and there was especially racers. They go, why racers? And he goes, the Winston Cup is named after the Winston cigarette. And I go,
They also
really?
used to sponsor drag racing at the same time. It was Winston NHRA and Winston Cup.
Look, you know what? I'm not going to tell kids that I would never suggest. I don't smoke cigarettes.
Well, I don't think I've mentioned this before on the air. I'm convinced that the Truth commercials, those really like left swipe ones, I know we've talked about before. I don't know if I said this. I'm convinced that Big Tobacco runs those commercials.
Big Tobacco probably makes more money off the non-smoking promotions or marketing campaigns than they do the other ones.
But I don't want to get too political, so we're going to move on to something completely off topic.
Okay.
Say your girlfriend dies. You don't know what to do. You really liked her. So what do? You wow, I said that wrong. Well, say you're gay, because
Oh, stop it.
I have no idea what the fuck I'm saying
So
right
let's
now.
say your spouse dies.
We're going to let Ginger take this one.
So let's say your spouse dies, and you're still, like, in love with them and want them around and want them inside you. Now, you can go out and get a dildo that is hollowed out, put your lover's ashes inside said dildo, and then use it as you see fit.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Now, see, I think that'll make a lovely centerpiece on the table. Just like this, maybe like a 10-inch dildo, completely like glass out with your lover's ash in it. Well, this is where Henry sits now.
Well,
and sometimes I sit on Henry.
I have a question for you. If your sister stole it and used it, would that be considered cheating?
Yes, and I would blame my girlfriend. Even though she's dead, I'd still blame her, because she should not be out like that.
Oh, Jesus.
I put her in the closet where she belongs, and for some reason, she's in my sister's room.
She got a lot more loose when she got cremated.
Oh, it happens that way.
Let us know. Would you buy one? I know the two listeners that are listening will probably say no, but let's just confirm that.
Actually, make a comment. That would be cool.
Or make a comment. Let us know you're there. Let us know how much
Let us know you
ash-filled
care.
dildo. Yeah, let us know you care. Ginger needs love.
I need a lot of love.
He needs someone to hold him.
Speaking of really shitty love stories, I actually shared this with everyone, and I think it's a fake story. There was a girl who was on a motorcycle with a guy, and he's doing like 100, and she's like, "Oh, slow down. I'm scared." "No, I'm not going to do that." "Oh, you should put my helmet on." "Oh, okay." "Oh, in the newspapers the next day, said bike hits a fucking building, and only the girl survived." Now, beyond that being a crock of fucking shit.
So, they're going 100 miles per hour.
First of all, he's already breaking the speed limit anywhere he's going in the country.
Yeah, he should have been pulled over. But he felt, apparently, that his brakes weren't working, so he told the girl to put the helmet on so she could live. Now, not for nothing. If your brakes aren't working, take your hand off the fucking gas. Take your hand off the fucking gas, let momentum take its course, and you will soon die out to a slower
Put the
speed.
fucking thing in neutral, downshift it if it's a manual. There's so many things you
Let
can do.
me ask you, a motorcycle, do they have like an e-brake just in case?
I
Oh, they do.
honestly
They
don't
definitely
know,
do.
but I assume that they do.
Any motorized vehicle will have to have an emergency brake.
So why doesn't he hit the fucking e-brake?
Just slow it down, e-brake it.
Maybe he was really trying to kill her and it just failed awfully. Like, there's got to be more to it. And honestly, if I'm going out like that and for some reason my e-brake fails, I can't shift this thing into neutral, etc., I'm just going to fucking floor it and go out flying. Fuck who's ever on the bike with me at that point.
So, you know what? I've heard a worse story than that one. And when I even read it, it was in like that whole ghetto language that people don't know how to spell with.
Phonics.
Something like that.
Oh, Jesus.
But basically, this girl's like, "Hey, boo, do you love me forever?" And he's like, "Nah." But then she got all depressed and jumped out the window and
Good.
died.
Good.
He ran over to her and he picked up and was like, "I was going to say I love you 5 ever, because 5 is more than 4.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That is the exact story.
Moving on quickly because we are running out of time.
Mm-hmm.
We also read a story about a guy that got cooked with tuna at like 200 degrees. Slowly got cooked to death.
As long as the dolphin's not it, that's all I care about.
Lungs of
Dude,
dolphins?
fine.
I've
Dude
eaten
is no
worse,
problem.
you know. I've eaten worse than human.
What is worse than human?
Do you really want to know?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. If you go down the pits of South America, you'll find this bog. And inside this bog, there's this old sewage and fecal matter and waste. Now, I take a bag of that, when I go down for my summer vacations, and I just, just to consume that.
Are you trying to do a
2
McConaughey
years.
voice?
No, I'm high for like 2 years. I'm still high right now since my last visit.
When was that?
Last month. And it's just shit.
How
after
bad
shit.
do you have to fuck up to cook a guy alive with 2,000 pounds of tuna?
That's what you call poor management. Because it was
Or
the
no
management's fault.
management.
No management.
And just for the record, it was Bumblebee Tuna, and I won't be buying their products for a long time.
I'll keep buying it now.
You gotta hope to get the
I hope
man
I
one.
get Fred.
Sean's next metal moment: Bumblebee Tuna.
Dude, do you know they're doing this thing like Cracker Jacks now? I found a human finger.
I got the tibia.
Sam's gonna get the dick. It's just gonna happen.
Dude.
Ground up pieces of cock.
Cockios.
So how is your dinosaur doing?
Unfortunately, we had to put the dinosaur down after it won. Because, there's only so much land and way too much shit.
So there's nothing wrong with it, just it shat too much.
Where are you going to put it after? It's like with the snow in the winter. Like, you just run out of room to put it in.
Really, Johnson hasn't run out of room.
You know?
Baltimore hasn't run out of room. Jersey hasn't run out of room.
But I won't find buyers for it. That's the problem. You would think, a T-Rex would be a great market to sell something in.
Yeah, you go to Jersey. I'll buy that. Good.
All the fucking DNA, and also you gotta remember, it's great for your complexion, girls.
I think after that last time at Denny's, we respect Jersey by like 0.2% more.
With that waitress?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you if you are listening to us. You did totally make our day.
I
Yeah.
wonder
Or not.
where she is now.
Since we are really low on time, I'm
I
gonna
hope
do
that Disco Biscuits concert was awesome.
I'm gonna do a really quick drinking story. There was a night I got shit faced, drank a 6-pack.
Is that what happens when you drink?
I was walking up the stairs, decided to trip and uppercut a vacuum cleaner. The vacuum.
I remember that night.
Just for the record, the vacuum cleaner actually won. I uppercutted the vacuum cleaner and it got the best of me because
And it tried to hug you?
it drew blood.
Oh, it hugged him.
No, it drew blood. It didn't hug me. It drew blood.
Oh, blood.
I was at the
excellent.
house. I
Yeah.
remember that night.
I decided to trip up the stairs, uppercut a vacuum cleaner, and the vacuum cleaner won. I'm not going to draw it out like SLB did last week. So that is our drinking story of the week. So fuck you, because it's not 20 minutes long. But,
I think we're all set to go.
closing arguments? Ginger?
You know what? For once, I'm good.
Wow. SLB,
Golden.
you're golden?
Everyone out there, just remember to love each other, and crazy women need love too.
And Spade New
But they
Year
got
Rats.
paid for it.
And I just wanted to make a statement that we're going to be working on some videos, some short films. We're going to be doing a lot this summer. So be on the lookout for that.
Next month is going to be a crazy month for us. So.
We're going to still do the podcast, but we got a lot of other shit going on, and we're excited to share with all three of our listeners. Beyond that, I am Merc.
I'm Zorn.
This is the SLB.
Ginger.
Bye!
Balls.